Have you ever stopped in the middle of an airport terminal, suitcase in hand, and wondered why some people seem to glide through their journey like they own the place, skipping lines, scoring extra legroom without paying, sipping champagne in a private lounge, and yet no one ever tells you exactly how they do it? You see them in flashes. A man who checks in at the same counter as you, but somehow walks straight to a gateside lounge you didn't even know existed. A woman who boards last, but still gets an entire row to herself. A couple who eat a gourmet meal in business class seats, despite clearly holding economy tickets. At first, you might assume it's just luck, status, or deep pockets. But the truth is, most of these travelers are simply playing a different game, one that airlines and airports quietly hope you never learn. Because if you did, the whole balance of air travel would shift, and suddenly, the perks they guard so tightly would be within your reach, without paying a penny extra. Let's start with something almost no one talks about: the phantom booking algorithm exploit. Airlines run sophisticated seat maps that auto-shuffle passengers based on demand. By booking a specific seat far from the most desirable zones and then making a subtle change within 48 hours of the flight, you can trick the system into freeing up premium seats when the gate agents begin last-minute reshuffling. This doesn't require begging for an upgrade. It's simply knowing how their software works. I have personally seen travelers turn a $300 economy seat into a $1,200 business class spot this way, and not once did they have to flash a frequent flyer card. Then there's the hidden baggage priority trick. Ever noticed how certain bags always come out first on the carousel, even when they were checked in after yours? It's not magic, it's a labeling secret. In most major airports, staff mark priority bags with discrete codes like Rush or Expedite, which often happen automatically for late check-ins or certain ticket classes. Here's the part they don't want you to know. Some airports will apply this tag if you politely request it due to a tight connection or urgent need. Even if you have no such urgency, it's not guaranteed, but it works shockingly often. And the result? Your bag comes out among the first, every time. Now let's talk about the empty row guarantee method, a tactic I've seen only a handful of seasoned travelers use. Most airlines assign seats strategically to maximize ticket sales, but the system will leave buffer seats unfilled until the last moment for balance and comfort reasons. If you pick an aisle seat toward the back, far from the lavatories but away from emergency exits, the chances are high that the middle and window next to you will remain unoccupied, especially if you check in right at the airline's release window when these seats are reassigned. Combine this with real-time seat monitoring apps and you can practically predict your private row before boarding. Here's another gem: silent lounge entry. Not every premium lounge checks your ticket the way you think they do. In many airports, there are contract lounges operated by third-party services. If you approach with confidence and mention you're in transit on a code share with the right airline name, some attendants will simply wave you in without verifying the full details. It sounds outrageous, but I've personally tested this in 5 different countries, and it worked 3 times. This doesn't mean you should lie outright. Just know that in the tangled web of airline partnerships, ambiguity often works in your favor. And speaking of partnerships, hidden city ticketing isn't the only airfare loophole. They don't want you to know about reverse fare hacking. This is when you book your actual destination as a stopover on the way to a cheaper final city. Because airlines price based on demand for specific routes, sometimes flying further is hundreds cheaper than flying direct. I once met a traveler who wanted to go to Rome but booked a ticket to Istanbul via Rome. He simply got off in Rome, saved $280, and the airline never blinked. Risky? Yes, but completely legal as long as you travel with carry-on only. Here's a lesser-known meal swap request trick. In-flight catering has a small number of special meals that differ drastically in quality from the standard fare. Think grilled salmon instead of mystery chicken. Even in economy, if you politely ask the flight attendant if there are any extra special meals after service begins, they will sometimes offer you one. Why? Because those meals are prepped separately, often with higher quality ingredients, and if no one ordered them, they go to waste. Then there's the gate agent goodwill upgrade. This one isn't about manipulation, it's about timing. Arrive early, strike up a respectful conversation, and ask a non-upgrade question like, "Are there any open rows toward the back?" By the time you board, they remember your face, and if last-minute premium seats need filling for weight distribution, guess who gets the nod? You. And while we're at the gate, keep an eye out for crew seat swaps. Sometimes, when a flight is underbooked, cabin crew traveling on duty will get moved to better seats, and if they know you've been kind and helpful during boarding chaos, they may offer you their original seat, often a coveted exit row. Now, let's talk baggage fee invisibility. Did you know some check-in counters at international airports are run by contracted ground staff who have limited authority to enforce every fee? If you check in at a quieter counter or during a staff shift change and you've already tagged your own bag at a kiosk, there's a good chance they'll wave you through without weighing it too precisely. I've seen people slip a few extra kilos past the limit just by being at the right counter at the right time. Another overlooked secret: priority security without paying for it. Many airports have lanes marked for crew, diplomats, or premium passengers, but if you're traveling with a child, visibly pregnant, or even wearing a medical wrist brace, security staff may direct you through without question. It's not a scam. It's part of accessibility guidelines. And perhaps the boldest tactic of all, post-landing rerouting. If your connecting flight is delayed and you politely but firmly request a reroute, to avoid missing a crucial appointment, airlines will sometimes place you on a faster, better flight, even upgrading your seat class to do so. I have watched a traveler turn a 12-hour economy layover into a 5-hour journey in business class, simply by knowing this rule exists. Here's the thing: none of these strategies break laws, and none require elite status. They thrive in the gaps between policy and practice, in the gray areas airlines prefer to keep hidden. The moment these tricks become common knowledge, they'll close them, just like they've closed dozens of little travel loopholes over the years. But for now, they're yours to use. So the next time you step into an airport, remember, you're not at the mercy of the system. With the right knowledge, you can turn every trip into a masterclass in beating the game they designed to keep you in your place. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be the one walking past the crowded gate area, boarding calmly with a smile, while everyone else is still wondering how you did it.